Today, I'll be discussing how to form an eclectic music approach using cognitive behavioral therapy, evidence-based practice, neurological music therapy, and Noddle-Robbins music therapy. I'll also discuss what they are, their details, and I'll also include some personal reflections regarding these approaches. Cognitive behavior therapy, or CBT, is an approach used to change unhelpful thinking and behaviors and allows clients to relearn healthier skills and habits. It is an approach where it focuses on how we think and its ability to affect the way we behave. Evidence-based practice is the integration of patient values, clinical expertise, and the use of research material into the decision-making process for patient care. It is used in CBT and neurological music therapy, where statistics, data, and brain scans are used to predict similar behaviors. Neurological music therapy, or NMT, draws upon cognitive neuroscience research on how the human brain processes music and uses the data to create music therapy programs. Most of these programs are used in rehabilitation treatments and mental health disorders. Noddle-Robbins music therapy, or NRMT, is a creative music therapy where the use of improvisation and the development of a therapeutic relationship is used to improve client participation. Each of the approaches have a diversity of clients. However, today I'll be focusing on clients who have had a brain injury. Each approach has different goals which are dependent on their client and their condition. However, for clients with brain injury, CBT, NMT, and NRMT share the same goals of trying to improve communication and cognition. To achieve the goals listed, each approach uses different methods and interventions. I want to show you how each method is able to be linked and used together to form an eclectic approach to music therapy. I personally believe this approach is more suitable when treating individuals as opposed to prescriptive matching. Looking closely at CBT, session formats are dependent on cognitive or behavioral goals, however they still maintain a strict structure. This draws upon evidence-based data on how to alter behavior and thinking within the client. In addition, CBT is used to build skills that enables the individual to be aware of thoughts and behaviors. It also creates awareness of how individual thoughts, behaviors, and situations influence emotions. Similarly, within neurological music therapy, music is used to modify behavior through conditioning and is measured by data and other forms of behavior analysis. The therapeutic process in NMT uses music as a foundation for a response to a stimulus. For example, research has shown pulsed rhythmic music stimulates good walking patterns in patients with movement restrictions due to traumatic brain injury. So these studies show rhythm is sufficient enough to produce the right stimulation for movement. Such use of music in providing specific treatment goals is research-based. Tort has shown that songs, chants, and rhymes serves as a mnemonic device to facilitate verbal learning in patients with brain injury. They were shown to have increased brain activity and were able to improve verbal communication. Both CBT and NMT are prescriptive methods. However, neurological music therapy and Noddle-Robbins music therapy uses the musical attributes of rhythm, melody, harmony, and structure as the basis for achieving clinical goals. Part of the therapeutic process in NMT uses music as a foundation for a response. But most importantly, there's been a shift in the evaluation of this therapy. Neurological music therapy has begun to move away from a prescriptive model to a more hands-on approach, with therapists beginning to understand their clients' values and needs. So this is very similar to Nodoff-Robbins' concept in developing a therapeutic relationship and meeting clients on their level. Nodoff-Robbins uses improvisation, which is part of the clinical expertise, which allows the therapist to understand their client values and preferences. It also allows for children to express themselves, acknowledge their feelings, and explore them in a safe musical space. Similarly, in CBT and evidence-based practice, data has been developed for the analysis of music material in improvisation, something that was lacking in NRMT as it is a practice-based music therapy. As multiple studies show, music has direct effects upon all of the domains in the brain, including the communicative, cognitive, affective, and social. Nodoff and Robbins emphasize that no clinical response can be achieved through a single approach, but only through multiple methods. So to finish off, I wanted to discuss my own reflections on an article to showcase how not one individual approach can cater to the needs of the client. Bella is a 12-year-old girl suffering from traumatic brain injury due to a motor vehicle accident. She is easily agitated and overstimulated by environments and has severe communication difficulties. Her challenging behavior and communication issues proved extremely difficult to establish her cognitive ability and therefore could not be able to apply the standardized assessment measures. Her referral to music therapy had the goals of relieving her agitation, increase relaxation, and also increase nonverbal communication. A combination of recorded music and live music were used in Bella's sessions. Her agitation decreased when slow-paced music and smooth phrases were played and began to establish stronger eye contact and vocalizations when live music was being played. I thought this clinical example showed quite a strong eclectic approach. So in order for Bella to participate in the session and actually get into the room, the music therapist had to establish a relationship with Bella first, indicative of the therapeutic relationship in NRMT, as Bella refused to touch the instruments and would not even play them. The music therapist would play the instruments and would wait for Bella to respond and to tolerate the sounds before moving on to other activities. She would also use the concepts of NMT and CBT, both proven by evidence-based practice, to modify Bella's behavior through predictive harmonic chord progressions in a repetitive musical structure, used music with regular beats, and also played music of moderate tempo and dynamic levels. This clinical example showed that without establishing a relationship with the client, there would have been no progress or improvement. The music therapist was able to manipulate the data and research to modify challenging behaviors presented by Bella and increase her use of communication skills and also relax her. In summary, clinical music therapy practice focused on evidence-based research allows therapists to make decisions in a rational manner. They utilize prescriptive models, such as the structural attributes of music, as a stimulus for clients to respond to. However, I personally believe musical experience and understanding client values are also important in determining the best intervention. Each individual is unique and therefore requires an eclectic music approach in order to achieve client goals.